Hello, everyone. I hope you guys have had a good weekend so far. Uh, so today we're going to be looking at Major Winter Storm Jacob. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. This is going to be bringing a freezing rain potential and mostly a heavy snowball potential. We got blizzard warnings. Yes, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Leave a like, comment, and turn on notifications so you will be notified when I post a new video. You will not regret subscribing, trust me. But for the past 2 days, I haven't uploaded because this is yesterday's weather relations episode. I was going to put that on today because yesterday I was trying to think of a fun video ideas for you guys, and I was actually doing that Thursday, but then yesterday I was going to film it, but I never got the chance to because I was filming TikToks. Yeah, which I'm sorry about that. But next week we'll probably have a fun one for you guys. But I'll try to post 7 days next week. I'll attempt to. One day I may not have the ability to, but. Let's go and get started here. We have blizzard warnings in North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, and South Dakota in these red boxes, these little red colors. And in these in these pink colors right here, we have winter storm warnings for portions of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, northwestern Illinois, UP, and Michigan. We have some in Washington, but we do have them back. Maybe something different in Washington. No, I don't think so. And then we have some in New York, Massachusetts by Boston, Connecticut, Vermont, and Maine, and New Hampshire. Right there, we have some. This yellow color, that's a child abduction emergency. I wouldn't ignore it if you live in Texas. I don't really know what you're supposed to do in that situation. It has nothing to do with weather. But yeah, we're looking at wind advisories. In portions of Indiana and Ohio, right there in southern Michigan, and portions of Illinois. So yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna be pretty windy out there with this storm. But I was going to get looking at the radar here. So this is pretty much what's going to be happening tonight. So we have a pretty big area of snowfall going from New York down to New York City up to Boston. We see this area, heavy banding going through New York into Vermont, portions of Massachusetts and Connecticut, right there in Canada. As we go a little bit later, let's skip ahead 2 hours. You see that band moves a little bit further to the northeast through New York, up. It's starting to move into Maine a little bit more. And then we see that it's in central Maine right now, and we see it's going to be moving to the northeast. Low pressure is 996 in Canada right there. And we see this is a pretty big band hitting the northeast like this. This is 7Z, which is the conversion chart. It's 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We see some lake effect snow in Pennsylvania on the backside of this. When we have winds coming like this, I should draw that with the marker here. We have winds coming like this, and we have some lake effect snowfall potential right there. But and then in Maine, we still see the widespread snowfall. As we go a little bit later, let's go to a Sunday morning here. We still see a lot of snow in Maine and some lake effect snow showers, but it sort of starts to wind down, and we still see the lake effect pretty much ending by Monday morning, though. Maybe just a scattered snow shower around, but that's about it. Maybe some more lake effect snow Tuesday early morning. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to be looking at sort of not the long term in this video. We're going to be looking at medium term. We're going to be looking at temperatures a lot in this video. Not a lot, but like for 3/4 or 1/4 of the video, 1/3 I'd say. Well, probably with this part it'll be a half. It's going to be like half of the video, but So yeah, we see this. We have this. This is pretty much the whole storm here. We see backside. We have some pretty windy conditions across the Midwest right there, which is why we have blizzard warnings. Because it's a ground blizzard with all the snow on the ground. It's going to be getting kicked up by the wind, and so that's not going to be good. But we do see that's why we have winter storm warnings in Washington right there, since we do see some snowfall out there of another storm. 1044 millibar high right here, which is pretty strong in the west. That is bringing some cold air down behind this, a lot of cold air down behind this, so going to be pretty chilly portions of this. We'll look at temperature anomalies later, but we do see that heavy band of snow right there, and some snow maybe for North Dakota actually falling, but you won't even probably notice it's falling because of all the snow blowing around. Although I've never experienced a blizzard, I've seen pictures of it. I've never actually been in one because I live in Georgia. We don't really get blizzards all that often. Never, but you probably wouldn't see it falling, but let's go ahead into tomorrow morning. We start to see it sort of shielding out a little bit across the southeast, maybe some showers. You see that lake effects. We do see a lot of high pressures, not even anything big through Tuesday, we do see some showers for like portions of western Texas, New Mexico, and the West Coast will have some snow showers and some showers, but no big intense storms. Let's go a little bit later. This is now Wednesday morning. We see our next storm system starting to form in eastern Colorado. It's starting to come out into the plains. Maybe some freezing rain in Kansas, a little blip in Oklahoma right there, freezing rain. Cold front probably like this. Rain showers down through Texas up to Oklahoma, into Nebraska. We sort of see the warm front like that, and so we see maybe a chance of a snow shower right there. We'll have to look at that though, because we'll have plenty of videos out before this happens Wednesday. We'll see a lot of storm systems hitting the northwest though, so a lot of precip up there. If you want to check that out, go back to Wednesday's video. That video got 100 views, y'all, so thank you. That's like my 7th most viewed video. I mean, there was a video I mimicked. There was one of my videos that like got a ton of views. One of my videos got a ton of views. I didn't copy it. I mean, because it's my video. I did that video similar to it. Same thumbnail, literally exact same thumbnail, although the snowfall in the background is different because it was and yeah, that video got 100 views. That's not bad. It probably has 140 now. So, I mean, that's pretty good, y'all. Thank you, guys. Because most of my videos, the top viewed ones, are back in the beginning of the last year. So I'm trying to, I don't know why that is, but I think now we're just a little bit like more like maintain, like each video gets like 20 views, but and by Wednesday afternoon we started to see maybe a chance of some light snow showers in portions of Missouri, Iowa, and up to Wisconsin right there in northern Michigan. We see that northwest is just getting slammed. Then we see some could sort of ride the coast down here. The GFS model is saying something insanely different, well, not insane, but it's showing something very different with this storm. Which we're going to look at the GFS model very quickly here. So, alright, so let's go ahead and see. GFS model says this is going to be very far to the north. The low pressure will be in the central Midwest. This model says low pressure is going to be down into the southeast, and it's going to go up to the Midwest, and it'll bring some less snow. But this could be a pretty interesting storm system. It could bring some thunderstorms and severe weather potentially to Alabama. But then you see some snow showers, a potential snowfall threat for pretty much this whole region right here. We see that's going to be happening across the northeast. You see, it's not going to be very big, but it's going to happen. There could be like a few inches with that. So we're going to be looking at that. Let's go ahead and all right, yeah, we don't need to look at that. But so let's take a look at the total snowfall potential with that. Gotta get that out of here. All right. So we're going to look at how much is left with Winter Storm Jacob, then we're going to be looking at how much could potentially happen with our next winter storm, which will happen Friday. But probably it will start to happen Wednesday too. So, yeah. So pretty much the most amount of potential of snowfall left with this storm system is, we're going to look here. All right, we have the data readout too, which is good. Probably maybe in the upper elevations of New York, maybe 9 to 10 inches. Most of Maine, northern Maine, 4 inches. Southern Maine, about 5 to 6 inches. Connecticut, 4 to 5. New Jersey, 3 to 4. And Pennsylvania, about 6. So we're going to be looking at mostly about 5 to 8 inch swaths of snowfall in this whole region right here. Although sometimes it'll be a little bit different. I wouldn't say 5 to 8. I'll draw a little bit of a graph here. Not a graph, but so probably 5 to 8 and 5 to 8 in this whole region right here, and then like this, that's 1 to 3 inches right there, so, or that's 2 to 5. So see that area right there. So that's how much snowfall we're looking at left. Probably a little bit less now, actually. I'd say probably only about 7 inches tops, because this is an older model run. Because this is the European. It doesn't do it as much, or it doesn't run as often. So you see this run is 12Z. So, alright, so now we're going to look at the, let's try to find it here, probably the surface and precipitation, 2 millimeter temperature anomalies. Because it's going to be, we're going to have some pretty cold air finally. Let's wait for that whole area to load in. Alright. Here we go. So this is right now, or this was this morning. Let's look at this afternoon. This afternoon, though, we did have pretty high temperatures for a lot of these areas, but not as high as they were, like 30 degrees below average, or above average. No, it's not like that. It's like 20 maybe. In the southeast, it's actually kind of cool, actually. But we do see these, look at this area below average temperatures right here. North Dakota, 22 degrees below average, 41 degrees below average in Alberta right there. So we're going to look at the actual temperatures after this video. I'm trying to find that. Okay. We have a look at the actual temperatures. That could be like negative 50. We'll have to see, though. You see that hits the south right there in the east coast with some above average. And we see that pretty big cold blast afterwards. But look at that. 30 degrees below average right there by southern, southeastern South Dakota. We see it's going to be pretty cool for the east finally. Well, not finally. I guess finally. But we see it's going to be relatively below average for the whole east coast. And we see it's not going to really warm up all that much until about Thursday. Not really Thursday. Maybe Thursday afternoon it could be a little bit above average, but Friday afternoon it's going to get a little bit more above average, and then Saturday afternoon it's still above average. And then even after we see all that next system, it's not going to get much colder. Just a few degrees below average in the southeast. It's about it. So we're getting into like a more warm pattern, but for the whole country. But it's not going to be like insanely warm, like 30 degrees above average, just like maybe at the top 15 degrees above average. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at that. But let's take a look at actual temperatures here real quick. Alright, so here we go. This is this afternoon. So we see it's below freezing in the Northeast, pretty much, 29 all the way down to Pennsylvania. By the way, when it switches over to blue colors, that means it's freezing. So, like that. But we see negatives up in North Dakota. This is now. Probably much negatives in Alberta. Pretty not really extreme cold though. First time of year, like nothing we haven't seen before. But it's gonna get pretty cold in the Southeast this week. 20s, maybe even a potential for the freeze all the way down. Some models have been saying Orlando. I don't think it's going to go down that far, but we will have to see. Let's take a look at any extreme cold potentially happening. We don't really see any extreme cold happening. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the CFS model, 2 meter temperatures, because this will go out to about mid-February here. So we're going to look at this model. We are going to see if we see any major cold blasts, because that'll give us an indication of when we're going to see much below average temperatures. We don't really see much. Look at this. At the end of January, though, it's going to be relatively warm, 19 degrees, so it's above average. But like in the southeast, though, you would think it would be like a much above average, but no, it's not going to be above average. It's going to be a pretty zonal pattern to be sort of average down there, and then up here to be above average. But we don't really see any extremely cold air come in. The purples are where we see freezing. We don't really see it. Maybe for the Northeast, we will be seeing some pretty cold air by mid-February, actually. But we aren't going to be seeing any extreme temperatures. There's pretty deep freezes, maybe for Atlanta. But we'll have to see as we go into February. But I don't see any extreme cold. We do see some extreme cold mid-February. Right around my birthday, and I hope we'll get a new computer. I'll have to see almost negative 50, approaching negative 50 right there, negative 47. So that is pretty cold. See if we can find any negative 50s. I don't think we will, but negative 50 right there up in Canada. So, but that's not going to make it down to the U.S., but we will still be looking at that. It's going to be pretty warm, though. But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. Please subscribe, y'all. 182 by the end of January, and I'm going to do face cam, so yes, so make sure you subscribe if you guys want to see that. And yes, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday and a good rest of your, not weekend. I'll be posting. Some of you guys may have a 3-day weekend because some holiday on Monday and I'll have school, so that's good. But yes, peace out.